Hey guys, welcome back to another podcast, episode number 5. So let's just jump right into it. On the panel, we have returning members. We have Lou.
What's up, guys? Good to be back.
We also have Mondo from PlaySesh.
Yo.
If I could say PlaySesh right. and then finally, very missed on this podcast, we have George.
Hey guys.
Alrighty. Welcome back, George, and welcome back to all the other panel members. So this week we have not too many topics, hopefully. So just a couple quick ones, and then probably, the big things that everyone wants to talk about, these next-gen consoles. A lot has happened since our last podcast.
Yeah, the last podcast was like 2 weeks ago, right? I've heard, well, not heard. I've read a lot of like tech people calling September Tech-tober and like October Tech-tober. So I guess there's usually a lot of tech news during these months.
Besides October for this year, like the AMD stuff, like what else is coming out October?
That's a great question.
A bunch of phone stuff. The iPhone probably.
Oh, that's true.
Android, yeah. The Google phones. I think OnePlus is also releasing their 8T phone in October. So,
well, you asked and you received. All right, but let's quickly jump into it real quick. Let's talk about the Series S leak. So, just a quick background. I know it's already been a couple of weeks, and I promise you we'll transition into the other stuff. The Series S was leaked by somebody named Brad Sams. I'm actually not sure if this guy works for Windows Central or what the deal is, but he has his own YouTube channel, and I gotta admit it, he was the first to leak it. I was skeptical at first. I made a video about it, but it turned out literally the next morning, just a few hours after I uploaded my skeptical video, Microsoft confirmed that was it. Price and everything. So Brad Sams was right on the money. Shout out to his inside sources. But here's the bigger thing, right? That actually led to Microsoft confirming not only the date, the release date, but also the pre-order date and the price. And literally, I think the next day or maybe 2 days later, that's when they confirmed the same for the Series X, which right away led Sony to then announce that they have an event coming up where they announced the price and the release date, not a launch date,
in a very rushed manner too. It was for like 3 seconds.
That's right. It was. Mondo, you want to? All right. Wait. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's quickly talk about the Series S. What did you guys think of the console itself?
I mean, just like everybody else on the internet, that it was just one big meme. That it looks like a speaker. Like the first thing I thought of, it looks like the intercom of like going in a building, or like the little intercom for like a drive-through. Like that was the first thought I had.
Okay. What else? Anybody else?
I don't know if I have much to say about it is pretty meme worthy. But I will say, like, I feel like it has a more interesting design than the Series X for some reason to me. Because the Series X just looks like a box. I don't know. But yeah, it was like I think I sent you the picture of like a mock-up or something that someone did where they edited the circle that looked like a speaker and then they added the Xbox logo on it. I feel like that was a missed opportunity from them. It would have definitely made it look a lot better than.
But if you think about it, Xbox has never been like the type to like over brand their things, with the exception of the original Xbox with the giant X. Like everything else has been very subtle in like the branding.
I feel like The Rock walked in there and saw that square box and was like, "What the hell is this? You want me to come out and announce this? Nah, put a giant X on it."
Oh, you're talking about the original, yeah.
The original, yeah. What is this? But no,
I mean,
listen, I hear you
it's
guys.
not subtle though. That big old circle on top of the Series X.
I mean, but that serves a function, even though it's ugly. Like it's
Right,
supposed to be
right.
an exhaust port, just
Yeah.
like the
Right.
X. The X has it on top, so that's why you don't really see it that much. But that whole top part is like that grill too.
And that's exactly why I don't mind it at all, because it does have a very valid, function. Listen, some people that used to work at Microsoft just before this thing got leaked said that it wasn't black when they were there. They said that it was all white. And then if you actually compare the Xbox One S, it has a very similar design, even has the same speaker grill, it's just not as obvious, and it's also white. So this, to me, especially if you lay it down, I think the bigger deal is because we've been looking at this thing standing up, but if you lay it down, it looks like a regular console with a huge exhaust at the top. What's impressive to me is not only the specs, it's basically a 1440 60 FPS, 120 FPS, depending on the game, version of the Series X. Of course, it's you got to make compromises somewhere when you're cutting down the price to $300. So, hence the 1440p. But there are techniques like DLSS that will upscale it to 4K, things like that. Or it may come at the cost of ray tracing in some games. It's all up to the devs how they want to handle it.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I also feel like not everyone has a 4K TV. So it's like, assuming that the games run the same in 1440p versus the 4K on the Series X, I think people that don't actually have 4K TVs should be perfectly fine with getting a Series S instead.
Listen, even if you do have a 4K TV, it's going to upscale it.
Well, yeah, true. But I'm saying just like getting the most bang for your buck. If you're getting the Series S and you don't have a 4K TV, then you don't have to worry about the games looking any less good, because like the resolution is going to be like, they're going to look the same at that resolution as comparably as they would look on the Series X at 4K on a 4K TV.
Right. And possibly the same FPS, which is that's incredible in my opinion. So some of the areas where I think they'll compromise big time is going to be when you're navigating the OS and things like that. That's going to be significantly slower than on the Series X, because there's I think a third of what the Series X has for that type of stuff. So outside of the few things like that, it's a great deal. $300. And George, I'm going to kick it over to you. I want to get your opinion on this because you have expressed some interest in this.
I mean, what's not to like? GamePass, all this other good stuff. So
at a cheaper price.
At a cheaper price, that's true.
I mean, I've never been a big fan of like high resolution and all that good stuff. So long as the game is playable, that's fine with me. So
says the guy with a 4K TV.
It's all about the frames, right, George?
Yeah, man. I love, what is it, 20? 25?
25 frames? That's not good. That's really bad.
Nah, you got to hit that 60 or bust.
60 or bust, baby. That's the new hashtag.
I know, because Lodi was mentioning that 30 was like a little too low for him.
It kind of is, honestly.
Well, I mean, especially I won't get into it, but yeah, 30s. I've been spoiling.
Yeah, we'll talk about that the frames and all that stuff at a later time when we get closer to launch. Let's save some stuff for the other podcast. There's the Series S. Like I said, it prompted the Xbox Series X to leak in price and all that, and let's just quickly go over it. Series S, $299. Series X, $500, $499. Then that caused Microsoft to have their PS5 Showcase. So let's talk about the event itself, and then we'll talk about the pricing at the end.
Sony to have their PS5 Showcase.
What? I'm sorry?
You said caused Microsoft to have their PS5 Showcase.
Oh, I'm sorry. Caused Sony to have their showcase. How many days notice did they give us? Like 2 days, I think it was.
I know Microsoft like money, man.
Oh, it was a week. All right.
Yeah, something like that. It was
like It was like the next day after Microsoft revealed their prices, though. That's when they sent out the invites.
Yeah, and then I think it was like a week after.
Yeah,
I think it's
there's the
also,
timeline.
also important to note that they included like payment plans and stuff for the Series S and X too.
Right. Okay. No. Listen, that's fair. We can absolutely get into that. Talk about value, one over the other. I don't know if you want to talk about that now, or we could get into that in another podcast.
No, I just meant bringing it up as an additional detail, but we don't. Have to
no, you're right. It absolutely is, and it's a very important one too, because the world that we live in, subscription and payment plans is the new thing.
Yeah,
so, I mean, it doesn't seem like anybody took advantage of it for the pre-orders.
I don't think they could, though, to be honest.
Yeah, I tried it and I couldn't because it wasn't clear. It wasn't clear. I heard that supposedly the page was not working for them to, because it's a whole process. It's not you just click a button, you apply, and that's it. Like you actually have to get a credit check and all this other stuff. So especially for people that were trying to get it quick before any website crashed or anything like that, I guess I opted out to just buy it directly, because that's kind of what I did, because I was trying to do that, but then I was like, okay, let me just get it right away before something happens and I don't get it.
Yeah, it sounds like people are probably not going to be able to do it then for a little while. At least not this pre-orders are so hot.
Yeah, maybe down the line, but not with this pre-order batch. Like they want to be able to do that.
Okay. So from what I'm hearing, it's not everybody that's offering this, but I think GameStop, Best Buy, some of those, and they just didn't have it ready. It wasn't up. And then on Microsoft and I think Best Buy were the only two that had it up. It was just crashing. It wasn't working. Now that's understandable because everybody was trying to get one of these. And of course, we're also part of the problem when you have 10 browsers open and you have friends also trying to help you. You have your cell phones, iPads, laptops. We're part of the problem, of course.
Says you. I only had one browser open.
Well, then you suffered for all of us.
You daredevil.
One browser, 10 tabs.
That's true.
Well, I mean, I had different store tabs open, not the same store open 10 times.
All right, that's a fair point. So just really quickly, for the people that don't know what it is, right? It's essentially the same process as getting a payment plan for your phone. You go in, they run a credit check. It includes the console of your choice, either the S or the X. You get GamePass Gold. You get GamePass Ultimate. Did I say GamePass Gold? You get Xbox Gold and GamePass Ultimate, both included. It's 2 years. And actually, if you do the math, by the end of it, you actually save some money. I think with the Series, I want to say the Series S, you save $60. And with the Series X, you save $30. It's nothing major, but it's something, especially if you were going to get all those services anyway. And the best part is that it's not such a crushing blow to your wallet on day one. You pay it little by little as you go. You get to keep it. It's not like you have to give the phone back or the console back or anything like that. So it's just an option out there for those who may want to do this. So that's pretty much what that is. And again, it wasn't ready for anybody. So I don't know how many people have been able to take advantage of this. I really suspect not much.
Yeah, especially not, like I said, most of the people were just trying to rush in and get it. I don't think people had the patience to try to do that, especially since they didn't know the whole process behind it, that, they were just like, whatever, let me just get it right away.
Right. I mean, I went straight in for, I want it right away. So, but we'll talk about that. Let's talk about the showcase, the PS5 Showcase. So let's start with Mando. You and I actually did a live viewing, and we recorded it, and it's up on YouTube now. I'll leave a plug in the description for that. What did you think of the event?
Boring.
Whoa.
Lou earlier said like it was like rushed, especially if you go back and look at it. Well, I mean, now that we know, like there was mistakes, like the Final Fantasy thing that's saying that it's coming also for PC. Then they were like, "Oh, wait a minute, no, not exactly." But then
Right.
it kind of is. And then what was the other one? I think it was Demon Souls that they said, "Oh, was coming to PC." And then they were like, "No, that's
Not only
not
PC,
what."
it also said it was coming to other consoles. Other platforms. And then it said also available on PC. What does that mean? Only other platforms other than PC has to be Switch or Xbox. But
Yeah. So how do you mess up that bad? That
yeah, that was pretty bad.
you like that's something so easily that you can avoid. So it's obvious that they were rushing to just get this out there. And then when they revealed the price and the date, it was like literally that graphic was up for like 2 seconds, then they took it out. Almost like it's to say, all right, guys, shut up. You have the price now. Like, leave us alone.
I think when we talked about this earlier, I had mentioned the I don't know the guy's name, the one that came out after the that stuff was shown, and he like literally right after that stuff was shown, he said, I think he said something like, "Oh, there you go," or something like that.
Yeah. It was like,
no,
all right,
I think he
there
said,
you go.
"Well, there it is," or something like that. It was just like it just sounded very like let's move on to the next thing.
Yeah. He was just missing "God damn it" at the end of that.
Yeah, everybody was just so mad that they were like, all right, here, shut up. Like, leave us alone. Like, stop talking about this.
Right. Well, there it is. God damn it.
I mean, they did have. I feel like there were a couple good things. Like I know George probably got kind of hype about Demon Souls. The Spider-Man footage they showed was cool. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think it was like okay.
Did you really think the Spider-Man footage was cool? I mean, the stuff on the bridge was pretty cool, but then when they showed us like some more gameplay, it was just him walking around. It was like,
too much of the what was it? The QuickTime events.
Yeah,
Even though, to be fair, they did that too when they first revealed the first Spider-Man game.
Yeah, that's
you would think they would learn and be like, hey, let's not show QuickTime events and actually show gameplay.
No, but what I was saying about the QuickTime events is that if you look at the first Spider-Man, right, on PS4, every time he did a finishing, let's say at the end of the combo when he would knock out the guy, it was a QuickTime event right there, like where it was slow, spinning around him, whatever, slow motion spin, whatever you want to call it. And, that was fine and all. It got old really quick. And I feel like with this game, they just took that and upped it by 5 or something. Because I felt like there was a lot of those slow motion stuff that it looks cool the first time, but then the second time is like, all right. And then, 2 hours in, you're like, oh my goodness. At least that's what it looked like to me. We have to really, get the game and play it and see. But that's what I thought. George, I know you love the event. So why don't you tell us your thoughts?
I thought it was good. I mean, they showed off Final Fantasy 16.
Right.
Which, I mean, who doesn't love Final Fantasy? Demon Souls, that's a win. Resident Evil, they showed, if I'm not mistaken, some new footage, which is looking pretty good.
That's true.
I mean, overall, it was decent. I wouldn't say it was like the best ever or like groundbreaking, but I enjoyed it.
Another thing too I wanted to point out is that most of those games, if not half of them, were all for next year, not for this year. So
right.
for something that was supposed to announce the date and the price of the new system, they sure weren't telling us which games were going to be available for launch. I think everybody found out the launch games when they went to like these websites, the retailer websites, and they showed, oh, this game is coming out when the console comes out.
Pretty much. The showcase itself, it just wasn't informational at all. Like, I felt like there was a lot of stuff there that I could have done without. Five Nights at Freddy, I know it has its following, but I didn't need that long of a trailer. Fortnite had no business being there. It was, even though it was only 10 seconds, but it's longer than the price reveal. It didn't have to be there. Well, what else was there that I really didn't need to see? There was just a lot of stuff that, man, I was like, okay, what? Just keep it moving. And then the one thing that I did want to know about, backwards compatibility. we got barely no information on that. And then the one sort of info thing about it was, help me out with the name. It's PlayStation Plus Collection.
Oh yeah, that
so.
they're
Yes.
like releasing all of those greatest hits of the PS4 for free with PlayStation Plus in their weird attempt of trying to be like Game Pass, but not really.
See, that's what doesn't make sense to me. So first off, I wouldn't say it's free. You gotta pay for your PS Plus.
Well,
I don't
free
know if it's gonna be,
as in you don't have to pay extra to get it.
but we don't know that just yet, because from what I'm hearing, it's a subscription.
No, that's what they
service.
said. They said that it was included.
It's
That
included
it's an added
in
benefit.
your PS Plus subscription, basically.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. That's not bad at all. If that's the case, but then you also have PlayStation Now, which is not included. And you know
nobody
what?
cares about.
Yeah, nobody cares. If these games that are in the collection were part of PlayStation Now to begin with, maybe PlayStation Now would be more popular.
Well, according to I think one of their head guys, they were asked if they're trying to compete with Game Pass, and they were like, "That's not our thing. Like, we're not interested in doing any of that." So there you go.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
I think it was like that they were saying that they didn't think it was a sustainable like business model or something like that. Something like that.
Well, I would say the same with only 3 million people on PS Now. Compared to the now confirmed 15 million on Game Pass. And, that says a lot, because just in April, it was just over 10 million. And in such a short amount of time, it's at 15. And I think it's only gained traction since then. So that I really think that's a service that's going to grow really fast.
Yeah, I
was
mean,
I was
so-
part of that group because I recently joined the Game Pass thing.
You see?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't think it's sustainable either. But
I mean, it somehow is, right? Listen, I'm not going to begin to tell you I know exactly how it works. I have an idea, and my ideas could even be wrong. I have no clue, but they're not the only subscription service that are around. They are all existing for a reason, so there must be money in it. And
well, I mean, not necessarily per se, because I mean, what, Netflix is in debt right now, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, but their debt came from their own mistakes. Like, they put a lot of money into a lot of shows that flopped.
That's what I mean, though. But like, Microsoft has how many first-party studios now?
So big
Like
news
20
this
or
week
something
also.
like
Well,
Big
the
news this
thing with
week.
that is that if video games keep that trajectory that they're taking now and adding so many microtransactions, I feel like this is a way that those microtransactions can be tolerable, because you're not paying it up front, but they can still charge you microtransactions while you're in the Game Pass. So that's
And
how
you know what?
developers make their money.
You're 100% right, because look at the biggest game out right now, Fortnite. That game is free, and yet they make billions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how the model is sustainable. Now, how is it sustainable for the games that have no microtransactions? I have no clue. I really don't. You got me there. But aside from attention, like I said, we could have a whole conversation about Game Pass. So let's try and not get into that now. But it's a great service. And just this week, a couple of days ago, actually, from this recording, they added Bethesda Studios. Microsoft bought them, just straight up bought them, and not
Well,
Bethesda
a whole bunch of
specifically.
stuff.
But their
besides-
parent,
They-
their parent company.
they bought the parent ZeniMax, which owns Bethesda. Man, I don't have the list in front of me, but it owns a total of 8 studios, bringing the total count, as George was just mentioning, from 15 to 23. Yeah, 15 to 23. Now owned by Microsoft, we have these big titles. We have Wolfenstein. Doom is really a big one. Elder Scrolls, I know, has a huge online community on PC and things like that. What else? What are the games we're talking about?
Fallout,
Fallout, that's another big one.
Dishonored.
Dishonored,
I mean,
that's right.
that's not as popular as some of the other ones,
But it's still a title though.
yeah, I mean,
You know?
it was a good game too. It wasn't like it was a bad game.
Right. So listen, we could go on about this Bethesda acquisition. I think part of the big thing with them is that now all these studios, I mean, Bethesda was big as is, but now they're also going to have more funding than they did before. So each of these studios, as has been proven since Microsoft bought some of the other ones, they're most likely going to be working on multiple games at the same time. And I'm not saying every single one has to be a hit or a 10, but the fact that you're going to have constant a constant influx of new titles hitting Game Pass, that makes
On day
Game
one.
Pass, right, day one, that makes Xbox and the whole platform 100% what's the word, more attractive.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I'm seeing online some people are saying that they may not be exclusives, and I was thinking about that. I think they are going to be. It could be like, you know, a case by game by game basis.
Yeah.
But even if it's not,
I think eventually maybe.
Like, I feel like what they're going to do is like the really big ones, like the next Elder Scrolls or the next Fallout is going to be exclusive to like Xbox and Game Pass. But all the like the lower tier franchises or whatever that don't make that much, they can be like, yeah, PlayStation, you can have this one.
I actually think it's going to be the opposite. All the big ones they're going to put out everywhere, because if you look at Minecraft, that's everywhere. You know,
it was already kind of everywhere before that, so that's why they didn't really.
This is
touch
true. This is true.
Well, I mean, that's why I say eventually though, because I think some of the games that like are known of being in development or like are, you know, already kind of further along. I feel like they probably already had plans to like release them multi-plat or whatever, but I feel like further down the line, like for
exclusives,
yeah, I feel like it's possible that I mean, and like even the games that come out like more like the next games that come out, like even if they are multi-plat, the fact that they're coming to Game Pass day one, that's still an incentive for people to go out and get, you know, an Xbox or like play it on PC and get Game Pass so that they can just play it on there.
I'm really glad you said that.
Somewhere else.
I'm really glad you said that, because you're 100% right. If I have a PS5, and then let's say Elder Scrolls or whatever the next Doom is comes out, and I want to play that game, it's $70 for me to go buy brand new on a PS5, or it's already going to be on my Xbox included with Game Pass.
$70. $70 is probably like a few months of Game Pass right there.
Yeah, you're not even kidding there. And again, that we're just talking about Bethesda. What about the other 15 studios that Microsoft has, which we only know about what 9 are working on? We still have no clue. There's 6 that are keeping it quiet. Who knows what they're working on? And as I said, each one is most likely working on multiple titles. You know, the future, honestly, is looking real good for Xbox.
Another thing they could do too is they can have it for like an exclusive launch window, and then like a year or a year and a half later, they'll release it to other platforms.
Yeah, the Sony model.
Yeah, pretty much. Use it against them.
If they do multi-plats, and that's definitely a route they can take. Like for the games coming out sooner, like that's a route they can take if they want.
Yeah, that would be huge, honestly.
I mean, I don't know how much they'd actually need that, because like I said, the games are going to come out on Game Pass day one anyway. So that's already incentive for people to get it on that console. Because I feel like when you do a timed exclusive, it's usually for people that don't want to wait, or not that don't want to wait, but that like want to get the game as soon as possible. They can't get it on the other console, and they buy it on yours or whatever. But
well,
you know,
it will still apply, because if you only have a PS5 and you want to play that game, you still got to go get an Xbox to play it.
True.
Unless they already have a gaming PC. But I guess if you're already going to spend, you know, $1,200 to build a computer, then what's $300 for a Series S or $500 for a Series X? Well, either way, big week for Microsoft. And how could I forget? That's not even the only thing that they announced. EA Play is now part of Game Pass.
Yeah.
We were talking about that last week, offline, off the podcast. We were talking about that as being a pretty big move. And I mean, now it seems like chump change, but that's still that's still pretty big, actually.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it is. I mean, I low key feel like they offloaded some of the costs of doing that by, even though they were probably going to raise it anyway, but by raising the PC price of Game Pass from $5 to $10 a month. I mean, yeah, I feel like they were probably going to raise the price anyway, but like I feel like that probably
it was in beta on PC.
Came at the right price, huh?
Yeah, it was in beta on PC at that $5 price, which I thought was incredible. It didn't include gold, but then again, there's no paywall to play online on PC anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, listen, that's expected from 5 to 10. You're getting a great deal. And now that they bought Bethesda, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they raise Game Pass altogether to $20 a month. And I still think that would be justified.
I mean, but the $20 a month price you're saying would be including the Xbox. It'd be basically
everything.
Game Pass
Xbox
Ultimate.
Ultimate, right.
Okay.
Now, I hope they don't because my wallet. But if they do, I'm saying I think I would understand. They literally just spent $7.5 billion, and then 2 of those games that they just bought, they're timed exclusives on Sony, Deathloop and something Japan.
Ghostwire Tokyo.
That's the one.
Yeah.
So Phil Spencer did come out and confirm that he is going to honor the agreements. But it's just funny to think that Sony is now directly paying Microsoft for one of their games to be a timed exclusive. Well, now this news about Bethesda being bought or ZeniMax came at a strategic time, literally one day before the launch of the Series X.
Preorder.
That's right.
I feel like they definitely did that purposely, but I was also saying that like it's not like they would have needed an extra to give people an extra incentive to pre-order the console. I'm pretty sure the demand for that was going to be at an all-time high anyway, but I feel like this probably incentivizes people more to get on the Game Pass train because they know these games are going to be coming to Game Pass.
Right. And I think, we'll really start to see the benefits of them in probably 2 years, 2022 and things like that. The couple of games that are releasing now, depending on the contract, really. I mean, we just used an example of Deathloop. They have a contract with Sony. So depending on the contracts that have already been signed, they may be multi-plats at first, and of course you're going to have those people see, Microsoft bought this and it's still going to come out on PlayStation, blah, blah, blah. But the ones after that, if they're exclusives, then you have a big incentive. Or even like what you just said, Lou, if they're 70 on one console and pretty much included with $15 subscription on the other, people are just going to jump to the other side. Listen, I'm personally against all this console war stuff. I think you want to play a game, get them both, and then figure it out later.
Yeah, I mean, that is true to an extent. I mean, some people have to choose because they can't get both. Or, yeah, I mean, I feel like some people can't get both, and then they have to choose one. The people that can get both and choose not to get both, that's more of like a brand loyalty kind of thing going on there. But
it absolutely is brand loyalty. But I mean, listen, I think that's why there's Xbox All Access. That's why that exists for those that can't afford the crushing blow at first.
Yeah.
And listen, let me quickly bring this up. I saw a video by Alanah Pearce, shout out to her. She was talking about the benefit of Game Pass for disabled or those that have disabilities. For one, what you just mentioned, you're right. Not everyone can afford both consoles. For them, especially because it's not as easy for them to get a job, right? So they might have a different budget than some of us. And then second, the return policies on these games really aren't that great. So if they buy a game, they invest a lot of money in a game, they don't typically know if they're able to play it 100% until it's about 1 or 2 hours into the game. And with Game Pass, you don't have to worry about any of that. You can literally uninstall it, try another. But unfortunately, with any of these other games that you pay for full price, you don't have that luxury to get your money back. And it's very unfortunate, but fortunate if they do something like Game Pass, and not just Game Pass. Let me show some love to Sony. If they are a subscriber to PS Now, they have that same luxury.
Yeah,
it's just the value isn't there in PS Now, I think. All right, so let's talk about the pre-orders. You want to go first, Mando?
That
between Mondo and George, I feel like we're probably gonna have a very, very fun story time here.
Well, I mean, I have beef with the Sony pre-orders, not so much the Xbox pre-orders, and I guess a little bit with the whole Nvidia and the graphics cards too, because this literally happened like in 2 weeks or whatever.
Oh yeah. Well, within a 1 week span, honestly.
Well, yeah, I guess. The Sony one really got me mad because I guess it's my fault for believing them, right? Because they said that they wouldn't, just randomly drop pre-orders, that they would give us time, to prepare ourselves and stuff like that, and they didn't. But I guess, to be fair, is not really their fault. It was pretty much Walmart's fault, because they just went like, do it. And then every other retailer was like, well, since they're doing it, we're going to do it too. And
so hold on.
That's what happened. Like everybody, it was just like a weird cascading effect after like Walmart did it.
Now, this is true. This is absolutely true. But here's why I have beef with the Sony Showcase. I really was looking for not too many things. I wanted info on backwards compatibility. I wanted the prices, and I wanted release date. We got prices really quickly. No release date. Let me take that back. No pre-order date. And I think that's where the chaos happened. Instead of showing 10 seconds of Fortnite, which we already knew was going to be on next gen, take 5 seconds to say, hey, a pre-order goes live tomorrow or something like that. Whatever the case is.
I think they should have said it in the event. I mean, they tweeted it afterwards.
But literally,
that was annoying because nobody saw that, like the tweet, unless you were constantly on Twitter and follow them.
Right,
you didn't know that.
And it came 2 hours after the event, because I'll tell you why. I don't know what, after the event, I don't know what made me pick up the phone and call GameStop just to see, because there was no pre-order date. I mean, to be fair, I was calling them each week regardless for both of these consoles anyway. But I just picked it up and I said, hey, are you guys taking pre-orders for the Series X and the PS5? And the guy was like, yeah. So that was literally how he said it. So I got dressed. I didn't even take a shower. I was funky and all. And I went down to my local GameStop. I was the first in line and I picked up the PS4 right there. And literally behind me, like 4 other guys came right in. The phone was ringing nonstop to see if they were taking. They didn't have many. I'll give them that. But if I hadn't picked up that phone, I would have been in the same situation as everyone else. All because Sony didn't put it in their showcase.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
But I mean, regardless, though, even if they would have, if Walmart still would have, opened their stores the day before.
But we don't know.
That's what I was going to get at, because like Mondo was saying that, I mean, he was basically saying that it seems like it turned out to be like the retailer's fault anyway, but like the Walmart actually sent out a tweet when they opened up the pre-orders. They sent out a tweet and it said, "Make you wait to get the new PlayStation 5? ? Nah, that's not like us. Go on, pre-order now." So basically they were saying, yeah, we know Sony said tomorrow, but we're not going to wait till tomorrow. Go ahead and pre-order now.
But when did that tweet come? Because here's what I'm saying. I was literally at GameStop when at the same time that Sony tweet came out saying pre-order start tomorrow. So Walmart must have had already. I'm just saying, somebody at Walmart saw this conference and was like, "Well, they didn't tell us when. I guess we could do it now." Hit the button. Someone hit it, and then here comes Target. Oh hell no! And then GameStop. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of how I
literally what happened though.
Right.
Because so from what I heard, Walmart started taking pre-orders like about 2 hours after the showcase ended or the showcase started, something like that. So
after it started, so 1 hour after it ended, then it was about 45 minutes,
something like that. I don't remember if it was after it started or after it ended, but it was like around 2 hours ish, around after 5 basically. And then I know Amazon started like around 8 and stuff like that. And then I found out like around 10 because I remember I sent you a link to that they were already writing articles that the pre-orders were already sold out. So yeah, so that's what got me upset because I guess I'm at fault. Like I'm the idiot that, believed the company when they said that, oh yeah, we'll tell you with enough time. So that's why it didn't even cross my mind to even check to see if pre-orders were going to be up because, when I thought that they said, oh, we're going to give you time before we say anything, before the pre-orders go up. And then I saw, oh, pre-orders are tomorrow. So then I'm like, okay, it's tomorrow. I have time. And then all of this happened. So I never even had a chance of getting it because by the time I got there, like everything was gone.
Okay. I was looking for this. I got the tweet times for you guys. Okay. So we have PlayStation. Okay. This is an original tweet. I don't know what time this original tweet was sent out, but the tweet it looks like both of them was sent out around the same time. All right. So it looks like the second tweet that said PS5 pre-orders will be available starting as early as tomorrow at select retailers.
This is from Sony.
They dropped that, Sony from the PlayStation Twitter handle at 5:06 p.m. September 16th. And the Walmart tweet that I mentioned earlier was sent at 6:53 p.m. So this was after Sony's tweet. So they are
so it was like about 2 hours almost.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense because I called GameStop around 5:15 and I was there by like 5:30, 5:40. And they were already taking pre-orders.
Oh.
So something's off in that timeline.
Well, I mean, I said approximately 2 hours. I wasn't saying exactly.
No. Listen, we're I'm not asking for time codes here. The whole point is that it should have been part of the showcase, in my opinion. And it caused a big chaos. And look, to defend Sony, had they put it in the showcase, would we still have had a crazy launch? Probably, right?
Absolutely.
And proof is the Series X launch. We knew when it was coming. There was actually way more stock of the Series consoles than there was of the PS5 consoles, right? And yet somehow we still ran into the exact same issues we had with the PS5.
Well, the thing is these companies, these retailers, they don't care about scalpers because that's the problem. That's the biggest problem in all of these things, especially like what happened with the Nvidia graphics cards. Like pretty much all of them were taken by scalpers. Like very few people got them. So like these companies, they don't care as long as they get their money. They don't care who gets it. So they're not really trying to protect their customers so they can get their products. As long as they get their money, whatever.
So George, I want to hear your frustrations. Lay down on the medical couch here and tell us your frustrations with launch.
I mean, it kind of sucks. Like, I wish I would have at least had a chance, but it was like, how the hell it gets sold out in the first 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Like, if I actually get there late, then it's my fault. Fine, sure. But damn, like I was there on time, and yet somehow every site I went to was all sold out.
Well, but what is on time, and which console are you talking about?
For the PS5, I was pre-ordering the digital one. Like, for example, I think certain locations said like 8 o'clock they were opening up.
Okay.
And I was there like 7:50.
hitting that refresh button.
So every 30 seconds.
You can't even see the F5 anymore.
Yeah, I mean that's similar to the Nvidia launch that Mondo mentioned, because they set a time too. They set 6 a.m. Pacific time. That's 9 a.m. for us. And yeah, I mean even with that set time or whatever, like you went on and I couldn't get one. It was apparently sold out like 10, 15 seconds after the time was set.
Well, the thing with that is like I said, like scalpers jumped in on that, because even like online and on Twitter, like people were posting pictures of like their email confirmations, how they bought 40 of them and stuff like that. Like they were like, there was like on Twitter, on Reddit, there was like a lot of posts of people just bragging how much like they got so many graphics cards and stuff like that because of like the bots.
That's gotta be bots. That's gotta be bots.
Yeah, because of the bots that they use, because they were crediting what was it, bounce alerts or something like that it was called. Like that's where they got their bots from. So, and then they were just bragging and posting pictures of like that, oh, you bought 40 or that you bought 20 or whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much confirmed that most of those were bought by scalpers. But like,
orders like that, I wish would just automatically get canceled or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
because
Nvidia,
it's really not.
After all of that, Nvidia said that that they were manually reviewing the orders, and if they saw multiple orders going to the same address, that they were going to cancel them.
And that's good. I'm glad they're doing that, honestly.
And then supposedly they learned from this mistake, and they were talking about how they're going to implement more, I guess, security features so that at the very least, it'll be harder for bots to get their stuff with the 3090 coming out tomorrow, like from this recording, and then the 3070 coming out in October.
This is Nvidia we're talking about. These are the people that claim to be leading in AI advances. So they can't use their AI to detect whenever one of these bots are present.
Yeah, a lot of people were criticizing them about that too, because exactly how you said, like they're like leading the way with AI and stuff, and you can't make something to make your website a little bit more secure from stuff like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even know there were articles and stuff like that. I'm just spitting off the top of my head, but I agree 100%. There's no excuse. I mean, they should have done what Sony did. Sony said 1 per household, because when I walked into that GameStop, I on my way there, I actually called all of you guys like in a group call, and only George and another gentleman picked up, and they were like, yeah, get them for us. So when I walked in, I told the guy, I'm like, hey, I need to pick up 3. And then he said, sorry, just 1 per person. So if Nvidia does something like that, like, hey, 1 per household, it's going to this address. Okay, that's it. You're cut off. Then maybe there might be enough for, I'm not going to say everybody, but there might be enough for a lot more people that didn't get.
So you should have gone like, oh, only 1. Okay, cool. Walked outside, put on a fake mustache and be like, hello, good sir.
I tried everything. I was trying to convince him. There were people in line too. So I also didn't want to be rude because they were waiting, just like I was. So I
slipped them a 50.
I tried. I told them, I said, look, okay, what if I make the line over again? Then I'd be like a whole new customer, waited in line and everything. At that point, there was only like 7 people at the store. And he's like, no, I can't. I'm sorry. And then he said, you know what? I'm going to call my manager. I literally hung around for an extra half hour waiting for his manager to call him back just to say that he can't give more. So, and I felt real bad.
You should have like gone full Karen and be like, excuse me, do you know who I am? I have a YouTube channel with a very, very successful podcast. You should give me the PS5 for free.
That's right. Yeah, no, I wish, honestly. I even considered standing outside and just trying to pull people off the street, but not many people were really walking by. And then the few that did had a really mean mug on their face, and I didn't think they wanted to be bothered. So I just took off. But either way, I went back a couple of days later to speak with the guy, and he told me that eventually Shortly after I left, he had run out anyway. They didn't get many. I think digital, they got a total of 5. And physical, I think he had maybe 15 or something like that. So they really didn't get much stock. So as usual, sometimes I forget, so I apologize for you listeners. I like to end all the podcasts with, what are you playing right now? So let's just go around the table. Start with you, Lou.
I am playing Ghosts of Tsushima.
Nice.
Yeah, you are.
Ghosts of Tsushima on hard.
On hard. Look at you, man.
Okay.
That's the only way to play it.
Professional gamer here.
Hey,
I know,
certified.
Right? MLG Pro. I don't even know if MLG is still a thing.
No, but yeah,
MLG.com/Lou.
You're gonna 360 no scope people with a samurai sword.
Yeah,
That's right.
just chucking the throwing stars. But I've been having fun with the game so far. It's been pretty good.
That's good. Anything else you've been playing?
Besides that, Fortnite with you guys.
That's true. Oh, speaking of, we just got 4 dubs last night.
Oh yeah,
that's a good night. Mr. Mondo with PlaySesh over there has yet to upload any to his channel, but I know he will eventually.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, stay tuned for that. I'm personally really excited about that. A 4-win night, and it's not like we played all night. We played 2 hours maybe. 2 or 3.
Mostly those wins came at the very end.
If you wanna see the proof, check out his Twitch.
Yeah. If you want to see what we're talking about and more in the future, go to twitch.tv/PlaySesh.
That's right. Sesh is SESH.
Yes. One word.
PlaySesh. Not 2. There's somebody over there with 2. We don't like that guy.
And then also the YouTube channel is also PlaySesh, one word.
That's right. I don't think you have anything up there right now. Maybe a couple of old videos, but sub anyway. Stuff is going to come.
Yes. I'm working on it.
Well, while we're on the subject, what are you working on right now? What games are you playing?
Fortnite, like with you guys streaming it, and I've been testing out xCloud on my phone, and it's pretty neat.
Nice.
It's not the best, but like, there is some lag, but it's usable. It's pretty nice. I wouldn't play competitively, but it's nice.
Well, it's only improving. I mean, we can talk about xCloud on another podcast. It's been improving. I feel like every 6 months you see it greatly improve, and I don't think it's gonna stop there. It could be 1080 today, 1440 in 6 months or a year. With improved latency, things like that, all the way up to 4K. The sky's the limit. That's what Stadia was supposed to be, and they promised, I think, 4K streaming day one, which we didn't get. They promised all that. We never got that. So just look to xCloud to be what Stadia should have been. Also part of GamePass. All right. George, what are you playing?
Right now I'm playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Ooh, which one?
That's the third one. It's decent. It's not as good as the first or second one, but it gets the job done.
Out of the first and second one, which would you say is better?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Okay, I mean that's enough for me, because I like the first one, but I wasn't sure if the second one would be like as good. But if you're having trouble, then that's a good sign.
But didn't the third one get rated really well?
I'm not sure.
I think I got like a 70 something on Metacritic, compared to the first two that was like in the either high 80s or low 90s. Because I don't think it was the same people that made it. I think they like outsourced it.
All right, so Tomb Raider Definitive Edition is sitting at an 85. That's on PS4. Let me see on Xbox. 86, so roughly the same. What are the other?
Oh no, never mind.
What are the other Tomb Raiders? What's the second one?
The second one is Rise with the Tomb Raider. That one does actually have a better score than Shadow.
It does. It has an 88 on PS4, so that's a pretty good score. No complaints there. And then the last one, that one is sitting at a 77. Wow, surprising. Oh, but wait a minute. On an Xbox One, it's 82.
Yeah, on the PS4 it's 75.
And PC 77. All right, so let's just say low 80s, high 70s. Definitely not better than the first two.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of shows. I don't know how to put it. I guess like the finishing touches are kind of missing for the third one.
But even like today, because that came out 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's the odd thing about it, though.
All right, we're gonna have to have a talk with Crystal Dynamics.
No, but that's the thing, though. I don't think that Crystal Dynamics made the third one, if I'm not mistaken. Because whenever I boot it up, I see like another team credited.
So this is weird. You're right. It is a bit weird because, all right, it's telling me that Eidos Montreal is the developer.
Okay.
So, but the publisher is still Square Enix.
Well, yeah,
and
no, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that the trailer does. Okay, all right. So developers Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, Nixis Software, and publisher is Square Enix / Faro Interactive. So you know what this could be? It could just be a case of too many hands in the cookie jar. That's why it's probably too many developers had their hand in this, and it's always best when you have less hands in the cookie jar.
It's always best when you have less. Okay, sorry. I was just repeating that for dramatic effect, but apparently it wasn't funny.
No, I didn't get what you were trying to say with it. Aside from dramatic effect,
it sounded like a nice, catchphrase or something. I don't know.
It's always best when you have less.
Well, it's not always best when you have less. Because what if there's wings? You want more.
That's true.
Come on, Lou.
Come on, man. Don't make me hungry right now. Y'all was talking about these new flavors, and I really want to try them.
Well, you can with the all-new cauliflower.
Come on, man. Congrats yourself.
All right, these are inside jokes that nobody's gonna get. So let's bring this back in. All right. So what I'm playing right now, actually, we mentioned this already. I've been playing Fortnite recently with the new Marvel stuff that they've been adding this season. It's gotten me back into it. I took a break from it for like a year or two, maybe. I don't even know how long the game has been out, but it's reined me back in, and all these dubs that we're getting lately has me hyped to play even more. We're actually going to stream on Mondo's PlaySesh channel on Twitch right after this podcast, so I'm excited for that. And also, what else have I been playing right now? I just recently beat Resident Evil 3. I also beat Strider, which was surprisingly fun. I didn't think it was going to be that good. And
how was that last elevator ride?
The elevator wasn't a big deal. I did have to do it a couple times, but the harder part was the big boss at the end.
Yeah,
did you ever finish the game?
Really?
Oh, the big boss at the end, man. I think I turned the thing off and tried it again the next day, and that's how I beat it.
That's what I did with the elevator part. That really? Had me for like a good week. Like I just kept dying.
What?
Yeah, when I got to the boss at the end, I beat it like that same day.
No, but how many tries though?
With the boss?
Yeah.
It wasn't as many as the elevator, I could tell you that right now.
Well, no, listen, the elevator was tough. I'm not gonna lie, but I just equipped the purple thing and then shot everything that was before it got to me. And then the boss, I just had to use a combination of everything as best as I could to beat him. Man, that was hard.
It really was.
Yeah. My fingers were literally hurting because I was pressing all these damn buttons so many times just to die at the end and then have to redo it over so many times. But anyway, I ended up beating that game. It was fun. And then I also beat God of War recently. Probably last week I just finished that game. There's some stuff to do after the game, which is kind of cool, with the Valkyries. So I did all that. And then there's an after the Valkyrie thing. I didn't do that. I gave up. So I uninstalled everything, and I'm moving on to GamePass games, And honestly, I hate to even say it, but at this point with the PS5 right around the corner, I know it's still a month and a half away. I feel like I have nothing left to play on my PS5. So now might be the best time to either sell it or give it away to somebody, something like that, and just wait for the PS5. I'll have a lot of games on my backlog for Game Pass to hold me over until then. Actually, Mando and I were talking about playing Destiny, which the two new DLCs drop, Forsaken and something else.
Yeah, the other one. And New Light. The New Light expansion comes out the 10th, I believe, of November.
Oh, that makes sense because it's coming out the same day as the Series X.
Mm-hmm.
So that one we're going to get to play. Hopefully I have a capture card from here to then. If not, then we're just going to have to all watch and play it on PlaySesh because he has a capture card. So that's going to be fun, I got to say.
Oh, yeah, man. Destiny's fun.
Destiny's fun. We got to get you back into Destiny. I know you were probably the biggest Destiny head in this panel.
Hell yeah, man. I got like every single expansion. Eventually I just burnt out, man.
I listen, I don't blame you with those 8-hour raids.
They're only 8 hours for the people who do them day one that don't know how to do them.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh. Well, I don't think I ever did it day one.
Hence the burnout.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, I can see that. Especially then afterwards when you do it, you got to do it multiple times to get like the different pieces of armor and like gear and stuff. So I'm sure that's fun.
How many people can you play on the raids? I think you said it was 3.
6.
Whoa, 6. All right. So
wait, is this 6 or 5, George?
Yeah, I believe it is 6.
Okay.
All right, so look at that. So Mando and I, we're gonna have the Series X day one. I know, George, you said you're still debating, but if you do get the either S or X on day one, we're gonna have a third running mate in Destiny.
Well, hopefully they'll have crossplay by then.
I don't know. I think they said 2021, to be honest.
Yeah, I think in 2021 that's when they try and implement it.
I'm covered in Destiny because I have it on Steam. I have it. I'm gonna have it on Game Pass, and then I have it on PlayStation as well.
That's true, and it's all cross progression, so it doesn't matter where you play.
Yeah, it literally automatically loads up your character when you log into anything. Like once you have to connect it first through Bungie, but then once you do that, like you can literally start up any game from any system, and then it'll automatically adjust. The only thing that's not cross save is the DLCs. Like if I have,
so you only have the
DLC, but it still saves the progress of the DLC.
Yeah. So like all your gear and stuff that you earn.
Yeah,
that's not a problem because we'll all have Game Pass anyway. So
no, I know. I'm saying, I mean, before they were trying to do this new light thing and then take out the DLC. Like, you know, if you bought the DLC on the PS4 but you wanted to play on PC, like you don't have access to the DLC in the PC game. Only like on your PlayStation where you bought it from. You would have to buy it again on PC.
Oh, that sucks. But would the progression carry over or no?
Yeah, the progression, like in the items and whatever. But like the actual content, like the maps, the missions and stuff like that, you couldn't do it unless you had the DLC.
No, but what I'm saying is if you get the DLC on PlayStation and then you max it out there, and then you also buy it on PC, are you still maxed out DLC, or do you got to redo the DLC progression?
No, even without the DLC, you'll still be maxed out because your progression is still saved.
Yeah, all your gear.
Oh, I get it. It has nothing to do with... okay.
Yeah, the only thing is you just don't have access to the DLC to play.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Well, listen, next gen is looking good. I haven't played Destiny this gen. Shame on me, especially me being such a huge Bungie fan from the Halo days. So I seriously am looking forward to playing Destiny on next gen, November 10th. And hopefully, I know it's going to be difficult if there's no crossplay, but maybe George will be there with us. Lou, you're going to have to figure something out.
He just needs to get back into the damn game.
Yeah. He'll join us and then leave us.
Hey, you want to explain that one, George?
No, we don't need to get into that.
We don't have time for that.
Thank you for tuning in.
Don't worry, we'll cover it on the next podcast.
Yeah, for sure. Let me make a note. All right. So that covers everybody. Hopefully that covers most of the up-to-date news. You never know. This tech, what was it called? Tech-tober or whatever. There's so many things happening in such a short period of time. So hopefully by the time this goes up, all this is still relevant. If you do want to stay relevant, make sure to continue to subscribe to Tech Control. If you're not, go ahead and do so. I finally reached 100 subs, so shout out to all of you that have been there since day one, and shout out to all of you new members as well. It's been fun, and hopefully we continue to grow. So like, share, subscribe, comment. Don't forget, Mondo, his channel is PlaySesh. I'll leave a link in the description for both the Twitch and the YouTube. The YouTube stuff is coming soon, and I'm more excited about it than he is, I think. But like I said, stay tuned. More is coming. So hit me up on Twitter. What's the other one? Instagram. We're pretty active on there. Shout out to those of you that already do hit me up on Instagram consistently. You guys are the best. Again, we're nothing without you guys. So thank you. And stay tuned for more. Take care.